this is Double AA Halloween, and welcome back to another video. This video is the first horror movie review on this channel, and today we are reviewing Wolfman. Wolfman is a movie that came out on January 17, 2025, directed by Leigh Whannell, produced by Ryan Gosling and Jason Blum, distributed by Universal Pictures, and had a budget of $25 million. Before we get into my thoughts on this movie, please be sure to smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed what you're watching. Leave a comment down below to let me know what you think. Subscribe if you have not yet. By the end of this year, I hope to reach 200 subscribers. And if you want to get notified of new content right when it comes out, please be sure to ring the notification bell at the bottom of your screen. Anyways, let's get started on my review of Wolfman. Let's get started on how original I think this movie is. I will be rating each category 1 through 10. For this category, 1 is, I don't think this is original at all, and is just a remake of an older film, and 10 being, this is a very original piece. Nice work. Wolfman, while it makes me think of the Wolfman, a film from the 1940s, is actually not a remake of that film at all. It is actually an original story with a new way of seeing werewolfism. Typically, when you think of werewolves, you think of a human that turns into a wolf-like creature. Every night there is a full moon, and when it's not a full moon, the wolf turns back into a human again. That's how most people would portray werewolves. Like in movies such as An American Werewolf in London or The Wolfman. This movie sees werewolfism as a kind of disease or virus. The movie kind of hints at that throughout the film. While it is true in the legends that if you get attacked by a werewolf, you will become a werewolf every night there is a full moon, this movie takes it a step further. At the beginning, the main character of the movie, who is named Blake, was a kid at the time, during the beginning of the movie, and during the time he was hunting with his father, he caught a quick glimpse of a werewolf. I was kind of confused at first, and I was like, why are werewolves out during the day? But then I kind of understood throughout the movie what was happening. During the movie, Blake gets scratched by a werewolf on his arm and his leg. Eventually, it shows him slowly turning into a werewolf himself. Because of how original this concept is, I've never seen a movie do a thing where werewolfism is a disease and virus that could spread. For originality, I would give this movie a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. The plot of the movie is as follows. A man named Blake Lavelle, played by Christopher Abbott, along with his wife Charlotte, played by Julia Garner, and his daughter Ginger, played by Matilda Firth, find out that Blake's father Grady Lavelle, played by Sam Yeager, has recently been reported to be dead. So Blake decides he and his family should go out to his old cabin in the woods, which they do. Suddenly they're attacked by an unseen animal, that being a wolfman, and barricade themselves inside their dad's old cabin as the quote-unquote unknown creature prowls around the perimeter. Tries breaking in through the doors and windows every now and again. But another problem occurs when Blake is scratched by the wolfman on his arm and his leg while trying to defend the cabin he and his family are hiding in. As the night stretches on, Blake starts slowly transforming into a wolfman himself. I don't want to spoil the movie for you completely, but that's just a basic summary of the plot of the movie from my point of view. The plot of the movie is good, how the protagonists are suffering with two problems simultaneously, opposed to one problem for the entire movie. You've got the audience at the edge of their seats worrying about the monster lurking around outside the house, but you're also worrying about the main character of the movie, Blake, as well as his family, as Blake is going through his transformation throughout the course of the movie, and how his family is responding to that. I would give the plot a 7.5 out of 10. The movie has so many amazing scenes, including the beginning of the movie when Blake, the main character, and his dad go on a hunting trip together, and they see little glimpses of the Wolfman, but it's not as amazing as the parts of the movie inside the house while the family is barricading themselves inside the house and trying to skulk around quietly while you can hear the Wolfman outside, surrounding the perimeter of the house looking for ways to get in and attack the family inside. Honorable mentions have to be the scene when the truck the family are driving in near the late beginning of the movie has crashed and is suspended by a few trees. You can see the family panicking and trying to leave the truck, while Blake has to tread carefully to make sure he doesn't get attacked. A few others include scenes like the one where they're running towards the house while the family are while the Wolfman is chasing them and is on their tail. You can just feel the tension there as Blake and his family are trying to get inside as quick as they can before the creature gets them. Or even scenes of Blake going throughout his transformation, getting a perspective every now and again on how he's perceiving things as he's transforming. But my favorite scene in the movie has to be the scene where Charlotte, Blake's wife, is getting Blake and their daughter Ginger into an old car. During the scene, you see her get a new car battery and attempt at starting the car again and again. Until finally, when it does start, and she uses the windshield wipers to get a better point of view, you see the Wolfman right there, in front of them, ready to attack. And he does. He uses his hand to break into the windshield, and the main characters are forced to get out of the car and try to run and hide from this Wolfman. The scene has you on your toes, and you're afraid of something bad happening to the main characters, while they are outside or in the car with the doors open. But when they get inside the car, along with closing and locking the car doors, that is when you let your guard down, and then finally, it gets you. This scene is so well played and so well orchestrated, and I would give this scene a 10 out of 10. Now we are on to the scare factor and how scary this movie is. Just like the rest, I will rank it from 1 to 10. 1 being this isn't scary at all and I felt indifferent sitting throughout the movie, and 10 being this movie will give me nightmares and haunt me for the rest of how long I can remember. Wolfman has a lot of scary and intense parts throughout the movie. Of course, jump scares are scary in their own way, and this movie has plenty of those. But some of the scariest parts are the scenes where you let your guard down, then something happens. Or the scenes when you are on edge when watching some of the chase sequences. It's like you're really there with the characters in a huge rush to find safety from whatever is chasing them. Or in some of the scenes where there is suspense or dramatic irony, you know what's going to happen when Blake starts showing symptoms of werewolfism, but the characters in the movie don't know what's going on. Like one of my good friends said, one of the scariest parts of this movie is the sound design. Roll the clip. You just get grossed out or disgusted by some of the sound effects in the movie. Like when Blake, during his transformation, is chewing and gnawing through his arm, and you can hear the gross, wet sound effects. This movie is terrifying, but not enough to where it has a monumental impact of how afraid I am of certain things. I would give the scare factor on this movie an 8.5 out of 10. Wolfman is a great and fantastic movie. One of my favorite horror films I've ever seen. Definitely recommend watching it if you haven't done so already. This film scores a 9.5 out of 10 for me because of how many intense sequences there are and how many scares this movie provides. Hope you enjoyed this video, and this is Double AA Halloween signing out. Stay tuned and stay scary.